autre fois ici à San Francisco. Et comme toujours, nous avons des absurdités. Alors, je veux lire un petit part de Ionesco. Et c'est de la cantatrice chauve. Tous ensemble. C'est pas là, c'est pas ici, c'est pas par là, c'est par ici, c'est pas par là, c'est pas ici, c'est pas par là, c'est par ici, c'est pas par là, c'est par ici. C'est pas par là, c'est par ici. Alors, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Et nous pouvons voir le nom de notre guest, Rebecca Boyd. Et elle est ici. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Okay. Well, I'm here tonight to talk about the Holocaust that's being waged on American horses. And I think many people are not aware. Right now, we have a chance to save the lives of thousands and thousands of horses. The Bureau of Land Management, through mismanagement and because of the cattlemen's lobbyists for the cattlemen who want that land to graze, and now President Trump wants to open up the public lands for drilling, there is an all-out effort by many to shoot, kill, send to slaughter over 50,000 of America's wild horses. Now these are the public's horses. They're our horses on public lands. They roam free. They're part of our heritage. And right now we are in violation of our contract with the horses. They have never had an agreement or a contract with humans to be eaten. Right now, there are 194 congressmen who've signed on to ban horse slaughter with the SAFE Act. That's Senate Bill 1214. And they need 218 in order for this to go to the Senate for a vote. So tonight we're talking about, number one, saving the wild horses, and two, saving all of America's horses. You can check a website called returntofreedom.org where they have petitions to sign, and they're asking everyone to call the Senate and the Congress because there is a vote coming up regarding the wild horses. And as I mentioned, they want to basically get rid of them. This is all about greed and cruelty and insanity, which is what horse slaughter is about. So we're asking people to call 202-224-3121. That's 202-224-3121. That's the congressional switchboard. You can reach any member of the Senate or the House and say the following: I oppose any provisions that allows the Bureau of Land Management to kill wild horses or send them to someone who will. I oppose any attempt to remove sale restrictions on wild horses. And three, I support the SAFE Act, S-A-F-E Act, Senate Bill 1214, to protect all of America's horses. There are approximately 150,000 horses that are sent to slaughter every year, even though horse meat is toxic for human consumption. It is now being, horses are now being sent live to Japan, where they are killed on site, I've been told, to be eaten raw as a delicacy, even though the FDA has stated horse meat is a known carcinogen. It is toxic for human consumption because of all of the heavy medications that they've been given. Many of the thoroughbred racehorses that end up in slaughter have been given bute for painkillers and other forms of painkillers. All of the liniments that have absorbed through the skin. They're given cobalt, they're given Viagra, they're given cocaine, they're given all number of substances in order for them to run. And that's a whole new area of cruelty being perpetrated against America's animals and especially America's horses. So we need to ban horse slaughter. We need to also have legislation that prevents thoroughbreds from being drugged, doped, and abused. And there should be regulations that when a racehorse is finished on the racetrack, that the owner has a responsibility not to send it to slaughter, but to find it a home. These are ways that we can interact in a more humane, more loving way with the animals. There's another issue going on, and that has to do with Premarin, with Pfizer, the manufacturer of Premarin, which is given to women for menopause relief. Premarin is pregnant mare urine. A woman's body does not accept pregnant mare urine. The known side effects from taking Premarin are heart attack, blood clots, stroke, and cancer. Over 1 million horses are dead because of Pfizer. The life of a Premarin mare is about an average of 7 years for lifespan. Once she's impregnated, she is placed in a cell where she cannot turn around, she cannot lie down. Her gestation period is about a year. She's forced to stand with weights on her. They attach a tube to her urethra to extract the urine. They keep her near dehydration because it makes the estrogen thicker. And they continually 24/7 extract her urine. That's her life for a year. No sunshine, no movement, standing still. After she gives birth to the foal, they kill 9 out of 10 of the female fillies, little foals, and 49 out of 50 of the male foals. I've seen pictures that looks like the Holocaust. Instead of human skeletons, they are baby horse carcasses. The mare's turned out, then she's impregnated again. That's her life. And after about 7 years, she usually cannot reproduce. She's sent to slaughter. This kind of inhumane treatment toward animals has to stop. And I feel that people who care about horses as part of our national heritage should get involved. And there are health reasons to connect with the horse as well. They are the only known animal that gets 5 times the amount of vitamin D3, and the only way we get that is on the back of a horse. There's also hormones called oxytocin, O-X-Y-T-O-C-I-N, oxytocin, or oxytocin rather, and that has to do with, it's a peptide hormone and a neuropeptide hormone that the pituitary releases when you're on the back of a horse. It's like a feel-good, huggy, warm, pleasurable feeling that makes you feel like love, like joy, like peace. We use horses in equine-assisted therapy because of their empathy and their ability to help heal. These are our partners in our evolution. They are not our enemies. They are not trash. They have feelings. They have emotions. And so I urge everyone who may be listening or watching to become involved, to become informed, and to become active. in protecting these horses. There are some other issues as well regarding horses.
Before you go on, let's just show one of the places you can go to get some information. Now this is from Facebook.
Yeah.
So if, but it is from the Freedom.
Return to Freedom.
Return to Freedom, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a source, and returntofreedom.org is also on Twitter and probably on more social media. But I mean, you can see in the picture that the horses are literally running free, and why? Let's see if we could take a look at this video for a second. See if I can get it full screen. Huh.
That's a picture of the roundup.
America's wild horses are in a battle over the use of the natural resources on our public lands. The wild horses in the West are a uniquely American symbol of freedom. Solutions do exist that can preserve for our children and our children's children the gift of seeing wild horses on the range. Call your congressperson and senators today. Find out more at returntofreedom.org.
That's excellent, and that's part of it. My first horse was a Mustang. They are intelligent, they're sure-footed, they're very loving, they're giving, they love an object or a job to do. They are totally connected to you when they get to know you. But their whole thing is freedom and joy. What Ed Harris was talking about is very important, and there are other websites and other groups, including Southern Winds Equine Rescue, Front Range Equine Rescue, Lifesavers Wild Horse Rescue, Four Corners Equine Rescue. They're especially dealing with rescue. Gentle Giants is particularly trying to rescue the Premarin mares and foals because many of them are draft horses. They're meatier, that's why they get more money when they are sent to the auctions to be sent for slaughter. Again, you can give a mare a shot that lasts 5 years and she doesn't become pregnant. And there are reputable veterinarians who will donate their time and their services free of charge to geld some of the wild horses. There are solutions, and again, these are the public's horses. They're our horses on our land. And so if you care about these beautiful beings as part of our national heritage, please become involved, become informed, and tell all your friends and family. And I guarantee just being around these horses does change your life. You're never quite the same. There's also something called the Torino de Lazo Feast and Rodeo in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. There they have twice yearly festivals where bulls gouge blinded horses and rip their insides out. These horses are dying in agony before they're shot.
Can we see if we, I'm sorry, Rebecca, can we see if we can find a picture of that? This is, I'm sorry, you said it is in Mexico, no?
Yeah, Torino de Lazo Feast and Rodeo.
Okay. Let's see.
And that may actually be found on Four Corners Equine Rescue. I'm not sure. There are so many. Or
I have Torneo de Lazo, primer aniversario de Rancho Negro en Yucatan. You want to take a look at that for a second? Why don't you go ahead? So, in essence, it's a bullfight, no?
Well, there's a bullfight, and then what they do is they take a horse out and they blindfold it. It's standing there. It doesn't even know, and the bull gores it in the side. And there's ones where it shows a bull's horns goring a horse and lifting it up in the air. These are gruesome photographs. That they're showing, but what happens there is awful, and then they shoot the horses. Its guts are actually lying out on the ground. It's being gutted alive. And this is considered a festival. And so again, I'm asking people, if you are upset by this, to contact the U.S. Embassy as part of Mexico and say that you want something done about this. The same, there's another group called Animal Recovery Mission. And they have exposed what's going on in Florida, Miami, Florida particularly, where this is happening to dogs and goats and chickens, but even puppy dogs. There's a picture of a puppy dog.
In Miami?
Yes, Miami, Florida, where they're practicing Santeria and other forms of voodoo and black magic as part of their religious ritual, where they take a puppy and they break all 4 of its limbs and put it on a cross to crucify it. It's tied to a cross. Then they put a peg through its mouth, so it cannot close its jaws to fight or protect itself. They lay it out there as it's lying in agony for 5 days. And then they chop its head off as part of the ceremony. This is going on in Miami, Florida. I'm asking people, if you're upset about that, to contact Senator Bill Nelson and Senator Marco Rubio from Florida and demand that something be done to stop this egregious practice.
Now, you have a T-shirt.
I have a T-shirt here.
If you stand up for a second, we can
yeah.
see it better because Planet Freeze in the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that's okay. So, here's what it says. Our horses are not unwanted. Our horses are not unwanted.
This is your camera.
Okay, oh sorry. Our horses are not unwanted. That's what it says. So they are not unwanted. People will adopt horses. There are all kinds of programs. There are people involved right now that there are 5 yearling Mustangs that are being retrained through a program, and they will have adoptable homes. There are retraining for aftercare for thoroughbreds when they finish horse racing. They can have a second career. There are all kinds of organizations, and again, if you have never been around horses or it's been a long time, I would urge you to find a place to go. Chabot Riding Stable, there are other places where you can go learn to ride. You can adopt a horse, anything that you want to do to become a part of it, to become involved in it, including, volunteering to go and care for these horses.
I want to just interrupt for 1 second and say I think it's probably a shame that children these days don't really have a chance to ride a horse. You know, when I was a kid, it was just something that my dad was into, horses.
Yeah.
You know, being from Europe, and so I was so lucky to get to ride a horse, when I was like 6 years old, maybe even younger. And then when I was 18, I rode one bareback in Pacifica, got thrown off and landed in this bush. I got all these things in my hands, but it was being around the horse that was so it was life changing, and I would hope that I'm going to go back to you, Rebecca, that children will be able to experience horses.
We really need this. I grew up with horses. I used to ride, train, and show.
Wow.
And one of my horses was rescued from the slaughterhouse. So I have a particular reason for opposing horse slaughter. She was an incredibly beautiful, spirited golden palomino.
Wow.
Like she shone like a copper penny. Part Arabian, so she was quite spirited. Apparently the previous owner got her from the slaughterhouse, and that's how I got her from them. She was a part of a matched pair, and the prior owner, before the previous owner, could not handle her, so he just dumped her to slaughter. She won ribbons, she won trophies, she was the most incredibly lovely horse. She just needed someone to understand and work with her. So I'm an advocate for whatever can be done. We're using horses in all kinds of therapy for rehabilitation, kids in transition in homes, schools.
And you said kids with autism earlier.
Yes,
too.
they do help with autism. There was a case of a family that they have, and I forget the name of it, but it is a tea house in San Francisco.
Oh.
And they're wonderful. The mother, the whole family's involved, and they work with autism. And they had a pony that this one little boy was riding, and he had not spoken ever. And after he was riding the pony a few times, the first words out of his mouth were, "Mommy, I love this horse. Mommy, I love this horse." The mother cried. And like I said, this really happens. They've had a documentary. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We've got 6
Oh,
seconds.
that's okay. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to take the whole time up.
No. It's the horses. You are here for the horses. We're here for the
The horses.
horses. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
It went
letting
by
me
so
be here.
fast.
It's been
Well,
here.
I hope that you can come back with Dina, who does photography,
Yes,
animal photography that's out of control.
yes. Because there's other bills, the PAWS Act, the PAST Act, the SAFE Act, and the PAST Act. So there are all these acts that are there to help horses. So you can become involved by finding information through the, I believe it's called the Humane Society Legislative Fund. And they give a scorecard that you can get every year, but yes.
Perfect. We have someone waiting to come in
So we shall go.
right now, but we can wave bye-bye to our...
We can wave.
Bye-bye.
Yes, here's my ban horse slaughter button that my friend made me, so I proudly wear this ban horse slaughter.
Okay, there goes the other door. Okay, bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.